Traditionally, whenever the President of the United States officially enters a major event, there is a piece of music that is played. What does this piece of music have to do with Scottish history? The song is entitled Hail to the Chief, and its history is very much tied to Scotland and one of Scotland's most famous writers. On the 8th of May, 1810, a book was published that within its first 8 months would sell over 25,000 copies. Truly a phenomenal record for that time. The book was entitled The Lady of the Lake and was a long poem divided into 8 sections called cantos. The poem was set in the Highlands of Scotland during the reign of King James V. The writer of the poem was Walter Scott, who went on to write many more hugely popular poems and novels, such as Rob Roy, Ivanhoe, and Waverley. Instrumental in romanticizing Scotland, especially the Highlands, Scott is still honored as one of Scotland's greatest writers. His poem Lady of the Lake was so popular that within a year of it being published, it was turned into a play both in London and in Edinburgh. Some of the poetry was set to music. In Canto 2, which is entitled The Island, there is a section called the Boat Song, in which the clan Alpin sings out a song in honor of their chief Roderick Dhu, or Black Roderick. This song begins with the words, Hail to the chief, who triumph advances, honored and blessed be the evergreen pine. When the poem was turned into a play, James Sanderson, the conductor of the London's Surrey Theatre, wrote music to go with it, and entitled one of the pieces Hail to the Chief, after the first line of the boat song. The play became very popular both in Europe and in America as well. The first mention of the song being played to honor a president of the United States was when it was played in 1815 in memory of George Washington, during a celebration to mark the end of the War of 1812. The first living president to be honored by it was John Quincy Adams, when it was played to signify his presence at the opening of the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal in 1828. The U.S. Marine Band, sometimes called the President's Own, is the only musical organization whose primary mission it is to provide music for the President of the United States. It was founded in 1798 by an act of Congress, and is the oldest continuously active professional musical organization in the United States. Julia Tyler, wife of President John Tyler, asked the Marine Band to play Hail to the Chief to announce her husband's arrival at ceremonial functions. But the person perhaps most responsible for having it regularly played at the arrival of a president was Sarah Polk, President James Polk's wife. She asked that it be played by the U.S. Marine Band when her husband arrived at any official function. One White House historian wrote, a bit harshly, Polk was not an impressive figure, so some announcement was necessary to avoid the embarrassment of his entering a crowded room unnoticed. By 1954, the Department of Defense had made it the official policy to play it as a musical tribute to the president. It should be noted, however, that not all presidents were fond of the piece of music. President Chester Arthur did not feel the music was dignified enough for the office of president, and asked John Philip Sousa, who at the time was the conductor of the U.S. Marine Band, to write a different tune. Sousa, who would later become a famous composer, especially of marching music, wrote a new anthem called Presidential Polonaise, but it never became as popular, and it was replaced with Hail to the Chief again under the following president, President Grover Cleveland. During his term in office, President Jimmy Carter, in an effort to make the presidency seem less regal and unapproachable, asked that Hail to the Chief not be played, but this was so unpopular with the general public that he quickly changed his mind and allowed the music to be played. And so, what had started out as part of a song about a Highland chief in a poem set in Scotland has now become the entrance music for the President of the United States. New words were written, though rarely, if ever, sung, but the title, taken from the line in Scott's poem, remains. This is just one example of how a little bit of Scottish history works its way into major events in other parts of the world. I hope you've enjoyed this video and learning a bit about history. Until next time, goodbye.